The halls of academia are a cold and lonely place. The competition is fierce. Years and years of preparation summed up in a single letter grade, A through F. Is it fair? Perhaps not. But as we've reached the midway point of this fall semester, it's time to give the midterm grades for ACC football. Let's start with 5-1 Duke, whose only loss was to Virginia Tech. Coach David Cutcliffe and his team have overcome some injuries to key players, set up nicely for a solid season. Midterm grade, B+. Boston College had a major hiccup at Purdue, but is still 5-2 on the season. With a healthy A.J. Dillon, BC's a top 20 team. Eagles midterm grade, B-. Syracuse was looking great, but has lost 2 in a row, costing the Orange a letter grade for sure. It is Dino Babers' best team to date, but the loss at Pittsburgh is troublesome. Midterm grade for the Orange, a solid B. Louisville has been a disaster. Offense, defense, on the field, off the field. You know, Louisville is this year's Blutarski. 0.00, an F. Pittsburgh, this team's hard to figure out, isn't it? Blown out by Penn State and UCF in a brutal loss at North Carolina. But the Panthers nearly beat Notre Dame on the road. Inconsistent, enigmatic, midterm grade, C-. Miami is 5-2, but this isn't what we expected, is it? Hammered against LSU, a loss at UVA, and a quarterback dilemma midway through the season. For the Canes, midterm grade, C+. Boy, oh boy, Wake Forest got off to a brutal start to the season on defense, fired its defensive coordinator, then gave up 66 points to Clemson. Wake has a rough second-half schedule for the final 6 on the road. So much hope in August, so much despair today. The midterm grade, D. As for North Carolina, the Tar Heels have just one win, got blown out at East Carolina, and fumbled away a chance to beat Virginia Tech in the final minute. A tough year for the Heels for sure. Midterm grade, sorry gang, F. Not the season they were expecting at Florida State. D+ for the Noles. As for the Jackets, a C- at the break. Virginia's victory last week over Miami almost had everyone in the Commonwealth singing the good old song. Well, not this guy, and not sold 100% on UVA just yet. And you're not getting an A either. Boy, Virginia showed a lot against Miami. They're 4-2 at the turn, and this feels and looks a lot different than a year ago when the Cavs lost 6 of their final 7. Midterm grade for UVA, B+. Oh, there's nothing like the smell of leather, don't you agree? Especially when it's rich Corinthian leather. And that brings us to Virginia Tech, perhaps the hardest team to grade during the first half of the 2018 college football season. On one side, Virginia Tech lost so many players on defense, lost its starting quarterback, yet sits atop the Coastal Division with a perfect record of 3-0, all 3 wins on the road. On paper, 2 of those road wins came against ranked teams. However, despite what looks to be a great first half of the semester, Virginia Tech's defense giving up a lot of yards. In fact, over the last 6 quarters, nearly 800 yards allowed. And then there was the day in Norfolk. No matter how well you do in a semester, if you fail a quiz, which is what Tech did at ODU, the grade is a C. Well, there's no doubt who's at the top of this class. Clemson and NC State, the ACC's 2 unbeaten teams. They'll meet Saturday afternoon at Death Valley. Big game in the Atlantic Division and for the college football playoff aspirations of both. Midterm grade for both teams, A+. And that wraps up our midterm grades for ACC football. Remember, the halls of academia are cold and they are lonely. But there are 6 more wonderful weeks of ACC football to improve your grade. We'll talk with you again on Monday.